What if I told you there are SUVs from the 2000s that refuse to die? While modern crossovers beg for repairs before 100,000 miles, these three legends just keep going through heat, mud, snow, and time itself. Mechanics call them the last true survivors, engines that don't quit, transmissions that never panic, and owners who still can't let go even after 20 years. So what makes these humble SUVs outlast luxury ones worth 5 times more? Let's uncover the machines that prove reliability wasn't built yesterday. It was perfected decades ago. 1. Honda CR-V, 2002 to 2006. The SUV that never gives up. When the second-generation Honda CR-V arrived, it didn't roar for attention. It quietly earned loyalty. This SUV wasn't built to flex horsepower. It was built to survive every kind of owner, every kind of road, and every kind of mistake. Whether it was a college student running late to class, a mom hauling groceries through a storm, or a traveler chasing sunsets down dirt tracks, the CR-V simply never failed to start. Under the hood sat Honda's bulletproof 2.4-liter IV-Tech engine. Smooth, simple, and nearly impossible to kill. It wasn't the fastest, but it was a masterpiece of efficiency. Chain-driven, naturally aspirated, and balanced like a sewing machine. Mechanics still call it one of the cleanest four-cylinders ever made. Many have crossed 400,000 miles with their original engines and transmissions still intact. Their secret? Regular oil changes and Honda's obsession with precision. Inside, everything was built for life, not luxury. Thick, durable plastics that refuse to fade, cloth seats that somehow still look new 20 years later, and a cabin design so practical it felt almost too smart. The gear lever mounted high on the dash, freeing up floor space. The rear seats folded flat into a bed. Even the spare tire sat on the tailgate, old school, functional, confident. But what truly defined the 2002 to 2006 CR-V was its heart. During storms, floods, and cross-country trips, these SUVs just kept going. Owners tell stories of driving through blizzards when other cars gave up, of surviving decades of teenage drivers, of running strong long after they were too old by modern standards. Honda built it not to impress, but to endure. Even today, used CR-Vs from this generation are quietly racking up miles all over the world, in Africa, Asia, America, everywhere. Reliability still matters. The secret isn't technology, it's simplicity done perfectly. No fancy screens, no fragile turbos, no endless warning lights, just pure mechanical honesty. The CR-V never promised power, it promised peace of mind. And that's what made it timeless. 2 decades later, you still see them running school routes, mountain trails, and open highways with the same calm confidence they were born with. The Honda CR-V, 2002 to 2006. Not loud, not flashy, but the quiet definition of forever.
2. Honda Pilot, 2003 to 2008. The family SUV that outlived its era. There are SUVs built for style. Then there's the Honda Pilot, built for forever. When the first-generation Pilot arrived in 2003, it didn't come to show off. It came to prove a point. Honda wanted to build something that could carry families across states, climb mountains, and still start perfectly after 20 winters. What they created wasn't just an SUV, it was a machine that refused to quit. Under its hood lived the legendary 3.5-liter V6 VTEC engine. Smooth, muscular, and almost impossible to wear out. It wasn't chasing power numbers, it was chasing perfection. This engine, shared with the Acura MDX, became famous for its bulletproof reliability. With proper maintenance, many crossed 400,000 miles, still idling quietly, still pulling strong. Even mechanics admit The old Pilot's drivetrain is one of the toughest Honda ever built. But toughness isn't just about metal, it's about heart. This SUV could haul 7 passengers, tackle snowstorms, or tow a trailer through the mountains, all without complaint. Its four-wheel drive system was simple but brilliant, automatically distributing power to the rear wheels when roads got rough. No flashy buttons, no fancy modes, just good old engineering that worked every time. Step inside and you understand why families never let go of these. The Pilot's interior wasn't luxurious, but it was durable. Every surface was built to survive chaos. Muddy boots, spilled coffee, road trips with kids and dogs. The seats aged like leather armor. The controls still click today with that signature Honda precision. Even the air conditioning, that underrated hero of long drives, just keeps blowing cold year after year. Owners who've had theirs for decades tell the same story. It just doesn't stop. They've driven it through hurricanes, mountain passes, frozen winters, and somehow the Pilot keeps running like the day it left the factory. Its suspension soaks up rough roads, its steering stays true, and its engine never loses that silky hum. In a world obsessed with touchscreens and fragile luxury, the first-generation Pilot feels refreshingly honest. It doesn't beg for updates. It doesn't need excuses. It just quietly delivers, mile after mile, year after year. Even now, these Pilots still roam highways and back roads across the world, many owned by second or third families who bought them because the first owner wouldn't sell until they absolutely had to. It's the kind of SUV that becomes part of the family story, the one that never broke down, never stranded you, never asked for more than fuel and oil. The 2003 to 2008 Honda Pilot isn't just a vehicle, it's a reminder of when reliability meant pride, when engineers cared more about strength than screens. And that's why, even today, 20 years later, this humble Honda remains one of the most trusted SUVs ever built. The Honda Pilot, a legend that proves the greatest luxury is never having to call a tow truck. 3. Nissan Xterra, 2005 to 2015. The last true off-road rebel before SUVs became soft. Before touchscreens replaced toughness, there was one that refused to play by modern rules, the Nissan Xterra, a machine born not for luxury, but for freedom. When the second-generation Xterra hit the roads in 2005, it carried the spirit of the wild square lines, rugged stance, and a face that looked like it belonged in a desert rally, not a shopping mall parking lot. While most SUVs were getting smoother, shinier, and softer, the Xterra doubled down on grit. It was built on a real truck frame, shared with the Frontier pickup body-on-frame strength, not crossover compromise. Under the hood, it packed Nissan's 4.0-litre VQ40 DEV6 engine, one of the most powerful and reliable motors of its time. With 265 horsepower and 284 pound-feet of torque, this beast could climb, crawl, and conquer. It wasn't built for speed, it was built for survival. The kind of engine that could take abuse, dirt, and years of neglect and still start with that deep growl that off-roaders love. But what truly set the Xterra apart wasn't just what was under the hood, it was what it stood for. This was a vehicle made for people who lived outside the algorithm. Explorers, campers, trail addicts. Its hill descent control, low-range four-wheel drive, and tough suspension gave it the confidence to go where few dared. And that roof rack, oh, that iconic roof rack wasn't for show. It was for kayaks, tents, surfboards, memories. Inside, it was brutally simple. Hard plastics, washable mats, rugged textures. You could spill mud, scratch the trim, and the Xterra wouldn't care. It wasn't designed to impress, it was designed to last. Every button, every lever felt like it came from an era when cars were tools, not toys. Drivers who own an Xterra don't talk about comfort or MPG. They talk about stories. They'll tell you how they camped in the Rockies, how they crossed flooded roads, how they pulled a stuck truck out of snow with a rope tied to that rear tow hook. And every time, the Xterra came back with one message: I'm built for this. Even years after Nissan discontinued it in 2015, the Xterra's reputation keeps growing. Off-road enthusiasts hunt for clean ones like treasure. Mechanics call it old-school Nissan toughness. And owners, they just smile because they know what they have. While modern SUVs chase luxury, the Xterra remains a symbol of independence. It's raw, it's mechanical, it's pure. No fancy screens, no driving modes, just a steering wheel, a shifter, and the open trail ahead. The Nissan Xterra 2005 to 2015 isn't just a vehicle, it's an attitude. It's what happens when you build a machine with soul instead of software. And in today's world of fragile, over-designed SUVs, that makes it one of the last true rebels on the road. Because legends don't fade, they just keep climbing.
So now you know real reliability doesn't wear a badge, it earns one. The CR-V, the Pilot, the Xterra, proof that true strength isn't in horsepower, it's in heart. Which one would you trust to take you across a continent and back? Tell me in the comments. And if you love cars that never quit, hit subscribe, because the next episode goes even deeper.